guys, this is Fade from nerffaids.blogspot.com. This is Faidian slip number 8, and I'm in front of Seth Halls. I'm going to go ahead and do a run for Anzu the Ravenlord in the video today, as well as run Magister's Terrace, in hopes of getting the Blood Elf orb. I already have the Magister's Terrace mount and pet, but I do still want that orb, so let's get it started. Just as a aside for both gold making and for doing these sorts of runs information, I have 2 tips. Number 1, have an enchanter in your party if you're not one. You can DE the boss blues and also DE the greens as they drop instead of later on. It saves time and it gives you some extra shards. And my other tip is to loot the bodies. You don't have to kill everything, but if you kill it, loot it. Just doing Seth Halls, I've probably gotten 5 epic patterns, and then I have also received last time I was in here, I got the formula for shield block enchant, and I sold it to a guildmate for 3,000 gold. So it's worth looting the bodies. There is cool stuff here, and since no one really farms this content anymore, most of the stuff that does drop might be in demand. So, definitely loot the bodies. No reason not to, other than time, and come on, if you're farming Seth Halls, you've probably got some time. As for Faidian slip style action, what I've been doing this week, I've been focusing a little bit on tailoring. Because I want to be able to make illusionary bags. They're getting 2 extra slots, so they're going to be 26 slot bags. Still might not be the best way to go considering they take 8 dream cloth to make, but I personally want the bags, and so that's why I'm getting to the point that I can make them. Until then, I'm of course looking at making the 2 PvP sets that you can make with tailoring, which is the Emberfire and the Fireweave set. I'm not actually making a lot because I don't have 7 million volatile fire, and it's competing with my bloodied pyrium supply of fire, and I also need the fire to make Dream of Ragnaros, Dreamcloth, and so I'm not making a ton, but I am taking a look at it. I'm only making the pieces that you don't make from leveling, or I'm only going to be making those because the ones that I've been making when leveling sell for like 50 gold a piece because everyone else is leveling off of them as well. But as for the, higher up ones, it's just like bloodied pyrium. The hat sells better because you gotta buy it with pyrium bars. You don't learn it from a trainer, and you learn it at 525. So that's what I'm gonna be doing with tailoring to make gold, though I don't anticipate it being a huge bit for a while since I'm gonna be using my own dream cloth to make bags for quite a while. Just to follow up on my previous Faidian slip about preparing for 406, first off, the original patch notes basically implied that every crafted item that didn't have a socket was getting one. That was epic. The thing is, that's not true. The new patch notes have a list of what items are getting the socket, and it's actually not even half of them. So go ahead, check out the PTR notes, and you will see a list of which ones are getting sockets. So this is going to lessen the demand for gems on the day 406 releases, but it's not going to remove it. So definitely still be ready to supply people with gems, since they're going to need them to fill their suddenly appearing sockets. The other thing that I wanted to touch on about that Faidian slip is I talked about stocking up on volatile life because of flask changes. The flask changes really aren't going to be that big of a deal. It's going from 12 herbs, 6 life to 8 herbs, 8 life. It wasn't going to be 15 life like I was kind of thinking it might be. The thing is, there's still going to be a big demand for life right at the beginning because they're also introducing these new alchemist stones that need 50 life apiece to make, and so you're definitely going to want to supply to the people who are suddenly making those. I myself will need 100 life the day that releases because I need to make 2 stones since I have 2 alchemists. So, a bunch of people are going to need life on, the couple days after that releases. And after that, I expect the demand in life to not be that much different than it is now. So, if you are stockpiling life, considering selling it sooner rather than later once 406 hits. Don't hold out for too long on that. Just a really quick note about the video. If you do farm Anzu, just as a little bit of a aside, and you want to go out this door so that you could say go to Magister's Terrace, be sure to let the last boss channel his arcane explosion all 3 times, otherwise he won't open the door for you and you get stuck in there and you have to hearth out or whatever. So just a little bit of a pro tip there. One thing I do want to talk about that is probably, second nature to most of you, but some people apparently haven't really thought about this since I was talking to someone in game and explaining this to them. I'll go ahead and say it here really quick, even though it's pretty simple stuff. Cost of materials and value of materials. Basically, like I said, I've been making Dreamcloth, and I was thinking, well, I need all these volatiles. Well, why don't I just make it so that each day I'm doing a different Dreamcloth cooldown, and then I can use my own alchemist to transmute whatever volatile I happen to need. And then I, conked myself on the head and said, well, that's silly. I can always make volatile air, just like I have been, sell it, and buy whatever volatile I need, since volatile air is roughly 10 gold, or if not more, over any other price of volatile. And so, therefore, yeah, I'm not, it's not a direct path of I'm making what I need, but I'm making so much more gold than if I'd bought what I need, so I can then buy what I need and have gold left over. It's a pretty simple concept. It's like, well, that's how you make gold. You maximize the amount of profit you can make from something, but a lot of people hadn't really thought. I guess a lot of people in my server that I'd been talking to didn't really think that way, and they were like, no, it'll be better if I can just, make my own, because then it doesn't cost me anything. And it's like, you're costing yourself about 10 gold per volatile, so 150 gold by transmuting water instead of air, because you needed water that day. So do keep in mind, it's like, even if you need that item, if you can get something better, sell it and buy what you need for cheaper than what you sold the other item for, do it, because that's how you make a profit, and that's how you make gold. But anyways, I'm sure you don't want a simple gold-making economics lecture from Fade, because I'm the last person who should be talking about economics anyways. Not that that's really an economic principle, but anyways. Gem cuts. I currently have 15 jewel crafter tokens, illustrious jewel crafter tokens on my JC. It's like, well, why don't I buy patterns? Because certainly I can buy some that would allow me to sell gems at a profit. But what I've started doing is I've got all the cuts I really want, and, I can find people to cut anything else I care for. So what I'm doing now is I'm just saving them. Because unless they introduce some sort of new token, which I don't think they would, they might, but who knows, I don't think they would. Unless they introduce a new token, these are going to be the same tokens used to buy epic cuts. So if I start saving my tokens now, I can just be like, ha ha ha, I have every epic cut in the game when they come out. Not actually that likely, since they'd probably cost 5 tokens a piece. But, I could definitely get a head start on the competition of having a whole bunch of epic gem cuts. So that's what I'm doing with my jewel crafter tokens. It's not, the, oh my god, most money making now, but I think that it should pay off in the long run. And even if it doesn't, like I said, I have the source for any gems I need. I just may not be the source myself. Unfortunately, I don't get my Blood Elf Orb this run, and I'm gonna go kill Kale, and it's like the messiest Kale kill I've ever had. I pull the pack in the back. He actually summons a Phoenix because my UI screwed up and I couldn't get my seal off in time, and yeah, it basically is just a whole mess, but either way, it still works just fine, and at least it makes it a little bit more interesting than it usually is. That's basically all for this week's Faidian Slip. There wasn't, any astounding new strategies, but I hope it still helped you guys out. I hope you guys have been making a lot of gold through moving stuff across the neutral auction house from my previous videos. I've noticed a lot more competition, so maybe some Argent Donners have jumped on the bandwagon as well. We'll see. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks so much for watching. Check out my blog at nerffaids.blogspot.com, and I'll see you next week, if not sooner.